Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We've been MIA for the past week, so we apologize, but we are definitely going to have a conversation about the amazing event that we had the privilege and honor of attending. My name is Niki Martinez. My pronouns are she, her, we, and this is Victorious Voices. Look who I have sitting by my side.
My name is Arthur Soriano. My pronouns are he, him, his. Victorious Voices.
So I always want to start out with a quote. So I'm going to start out with a quote and just bless y'all with a little bit of wisdom. After we've gone through so many different things and experiences, I just think that, you know what, we grow every single day, right? We grow and we have to heal and we have to grow and we have to prosper even when life knocks us down and challenges come their way. We're here and we're growing. So the quote that I have today is, we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. Ooh, and when it hit me. It throat punched me. I was like, ooh, that was a good one, you know?
That's a good one.
Yeah, we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. And it's so funny because when we were talking earlier, you dropped the lug of the character defects and stuff, and it just kind of resonated with me too about all that. And then it leads to, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Where do you want to go? What's your next steps, you know, and having a different mindset and becoming what you want, you know, and you have to evolve, you know. We can't grow if we don't allow our mind to change. So
that's true.
Yeah.
And it's a growing process for us. Like, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day at your housewarming, which was congratulations.
Thank you.
Excellent. You have a lovely condo, beautiful condo. It was beautiful. And I was talking to an individual there, and it gave me some reflection, right?
Yeah.
On character defects, like our causative factors. Like, there's stages, you know, for someone that has been out here for, let's say, 9 years, 10 years, like there's different stages that we go through, and it needs to consistently become a maintenance state, right?
Yeah.
But we were having this like really deep conversation about at stage 2, right? 2 years, you know, that system-induced trauma would kick in, and then he would get quiet at the house and like didn't understand the impact of that.
Yeah.
And how it affects like relationship, right?
Yes.
And so we're just on a continuous process of growing, growing as individuals, as an organization, as a family, and in our healing process. That never stopped.
Yeah. Well, and it kicks you. It's like we because we've had so much system-induced trauma, because we've been through trials and tribulations, and people that haven't been impacted by the system, which I think is very rare. But even if you have not been impacted by the system, you've still had some type of trauma, right? And when I think about it, it's like, okay, how do we overcome that? How do we be so resilient? And I think that's why I'm so in love with what it is that we do with the trauma-informed care code of conduct, with the training, with our curriculum, with everything that we're doing. It's like we're having a constant opportunity to deposit some knowledge and some healing in everything that we do. When we're working with our adults, when we're working with our youth that are on probation, when we're working with our youth that are in the schools, like we're constantly doing that. And so it's a process. And for us to get to that maintenance stage, to get to where we're comfortable in our skin or content with what we're doing, we're content with our choices. And just like the quote said, you know, thinking about what it is that we want and getting to that point. But in order to do that, we have to go cultivate that character to get us to that point, you know? So, and that's cultivating a whole different character out here in society, right?
Yeah.
With the strong conversation that we have, like, it's just, we have to cultivate something different if we want to become something different. And, you know, when I think about it, it's like, I think about, what do I want? What do I want? And then how do I get that? Well, I have to become that, you know, and I have to see that and speak that, because we speak great things into our lives, right, boss?
Yes, because what we speak is our belief.
Yes.
You know, at the bottom line, what we speak is our belief. And it comes down to our core beliefs on how we were raised, to our family, to our community, to all the causative factors. Like, it becomes a core belief. So we just wanted to drop a little bit of, you know, what we do, how we work. You know, it's consistent to our vocabulary, how we express ourselves. And honestly, it's just personal healing for us.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Niki?
I feel like there's a million things to do today. So I have a little bit of anxiety, but I'm super grateful. This, like I was saying earlier, you know, this is like my month where a lot of things have happened, you know, And I was telling somebody this morning how amazing it is that, in 1994, this month was recognized for me in a very harmful way. And I created fear in the community. I hurt a lot of people. And I was recognized in a horrific manner, and now knowing that today we're going to the Ohio probation building and to be recognized, acknowledged in a totally different way. So this month is definitely, it's like coming full circle for me in a way that's very, very humbling, and makes me feel sometimes even unworthy. But the good thing is that I was explaining this morning, that I don't have shame attached to it any longer because of the forgiveness that I've been extended. And so it takes it to another level for me, and I feel like it's a closing circle of exactly what's supposed to happen in honor of John and Zwa. So
Wow. And it's all about forgiveness. At the end of the day, forgiveness is key. Love, peace, joy in our lives and our prosperity and our goals and our line of work. It all comes down to forgiveness. And so we went to Crime Survivors Speak. This is a conference that Youth Empowerment has been going for the last 5-6 years. This is our third time going. Our first time there was like 1,500 people. Second time, 1,000. Because of COVID-19, we had 600 people, all walks of life, all different types of organizations from San Diego to up north. They gave us an opportunity to come together. And when we talk about crime survivors speak, it's a beautiful collaboration because we're talking about individuals that have been impacted by crime. Mothers that have experienced murders from police officers, from community members, gang members. So it was a place of healing. One of the key words there was healing, healing, healing. Niki just talked about her experience, right? And what she went through. So we were in a circle.
yeah.
And it was deep. Like I don't want to mention no names or specific because I just want to keep that circle sacred, but it was a circle of healing. And in this circle of healing, I just want to give my life perspective. Niki and I and another gentleman were the only ones that expressed that we were the ones that were committing the crimes. We were the ones victimizing, right? And, everyone was expressing themselves. Everyone had their story. Everyone had their tears, and it was intense.
Yeah.
There was a lot of anxiety in the room for us in particular, right? And for others too, but in particular what I was feeling.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know what to say. I was kind of stuck with words. And fortunately, the gentleman kind of like gave me a thought because he went first, right? And he just started off with an apology. And I was like, okay, this is where I'm going. So like I was able to feed off of that.
Yeah.
And when it got to me, I just apologized to all the individuals there that have been impacted by crime. Their loved ones have been murdered. Their loved ones have experienced just all this system-induced trauma and conflicts and chronic, right, in their lives. And so I took that in as like, I need to ask for forgiveness. How did you feel while that?
It was crazy because as soon as the very first family spoke, they instantly broke down, that they couldn't even say their loved one's name. And they had their loved one on a T-shirt, and there was two amazing women that were talking, that spoke why they were there. And I instantly knew in my spirit that I owed them an apology. And then it went to the next person, and I knew that I owed them an apology. And as it was going through the circle, it was just breaking my heart more and more, because even though that wasn't specifically the family that I impacted, but it was. And with every family that spoke, that's exactly how I felt. I felt responsible. I felt like it was my fault. I felt like I played a part in that. And I felt like they were impacted because of my choices. And so it was imperative for me to apologize to each and every one of them. And I made it a point to look around the circle and try and make eye contact with everybody that was sitting in that circle because I was I didn't feel, like I said, I didn't feel worthy of even being in that space. I felt like I was violating their grief and their mourning, but I felt like it was imperative for me to apologize to every single one of them people that was in there, and I feel like if I could have, to all 600, people that were there standing in representation for somebody that they loved that had been harmed, I wish I could have just walked up to them and said, I apologize, but it was very, very, it was emotional. And it was also, there's a healing component that comes with that. There's an honor that comes with that. And for the recognition that we got and we received at the end of the circle, understanding that our apology and that our remorse was genuine. And they thanked us, they thanked us. So it just helps heal the soul,
And that made me feel excellent, like inside, like, no, you don't, well, I don't want to get into the words of what they said.
Yeah.
But, because I just want to keep that private, but like, they comfort us.
Yeah.
And some others acknowledge the work that we do, like boots on the ground with the youth individuals that we serve. And one of their quotes was, a lot of their mothers just want an apology. Yeah. That's it. A simple apology, it goes a long way. So that was a great experience. It was a time to build partnership and collaborations and their purpose of crime survivors. Why are they there? Why are we there? Why are we collaborating?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is that's where it comes into like a revolutionary movement, right? Because, and this is what we talk about when we're doing the presentations about credible messengers and what that looks like, right? And so we have people that have been impacted, affected by crime, that need justice. Not to say they need it, they deserve it, and they want to have it. And then you have the other component of folks, but they also, I think the thing that makes Survivor Speak so impactful in what they do is because they understand that justice does not equate punitive measures and treating people inhumanely and unjust. That justice deserves to be clear across the board in what that looks like. And I think that's the one thing, like the advocacy component of it that they feel in the way that they're willing to hold the hands of certain people and putting community members in place that will help support healing, restorative practice, justice, and what that looks like. And it's inclusive. It's not by, being demeaning. It's not by locking people up in cages for the rest of their lives. It's providing them with resources and services that they need so that they can have a healthy community and what that looks like. And same thing with the people that have been victimized by crime. Is providing them with the accurate resources that they need to help them deal with the trauma that they're experiencing. And it's important that we have that. And I think that's the thing that just kind of stood everything apart. It wasn't that, people were coming with this angry spirit. No, they wanted solutions and they want to heal. These people want to heal. They don't want, they don't want to make a catastrophic event more harmful for others. They want the healing and they want a community that's going to come together and provide that comfort as such.
Absolutely. And by bringing resources to Yukon individuals that have been impacted by trauma, we're going to do everything in our power in collaborative partnerships from San Diego to up north to around the nation to help them individuals here. So then they could become productive community members in whatever community they were raised. So that's the power of that compass. And it was great. We had a great time, a gala, a nice dance, the comedian.
Yeah, the comedian was cool.
He was
super.
What was his name again?
Dennis.
Dennis. He's on Netflix.
Yeah, he's on Netflix. He was super cool. And the amazing thing, so shout out to him, man, because he's a comedian. He's on Netflix. He was on Kings of Comedy. Like, he's doing his jam, But what he also does on the side is he goes inside of the institutions. And he provides comedy to our men that are experiencing, isolation, that are ostracized from society. And he goes in there just to bring them some joy and make their spirit happy. And he's also, he also spreads the good news. He's also an evangelist that goes in there and speaks on behalf of, his spirituality and stuff and spreads that message. So he was just a phenomenal, and he's funny. Hats off to him. He's super, super funny. So we had an amazing night and was able to close that gala out real good.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Do we have any bills and what?
We do have bills, and I didn't get the info. So as y'all can see, I'm functioning from my phone today. I don't have my laptop, so I feel like I'm just all over the place. But there is a couple of bills, and one of them was about that I really asked people. I can't remember. I want to say it's 399, but because I have all my juvenile bills embedded in my brain, it's really hard for me to remember. But one of them is to allow family members the opportunity to grieve accurately and appropriately and not demand them to go back to work. And so that bereavement time period is definitely necessary. That was one of the bills that really kind of stood out to him. So there's a couple of bills that they're fighting for right now in Sacramento. I don't know what the numbers are. I wish I had those for y'all. If all else, I'll have them for you next week. But a shout out to definitely Lenore Anderson. She was recognized for just the movement that she's been able to create and the things that she's been able to do. We had a lot of conversations with a lot of people out there that are doing big things, and just being able to collaborate and connect with them and take this all to the next level of healing. It's phenomenal. So,
and also I want to acknowledge Liz and Carlos for being the chapter coordinators here in San Diego County, and Evelyn Mothers with a Message, Jay Jordan, and just a lot of individuals that were able to come together to put this conference together was huge.
Yeah.
And that lady, like, she's responsible for a lot of the CYA closing down.
Yeah. She was doing things, man. She was doing a lot of things. So she was super dope. So definitely the right thing to recognize her. The other thing, so we have our grand opening at the Ohio Street Probation Building today from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. They painted Boss's face on this big old mural. It's like ginormous. And he's sitting next to Nelson Mandela, like Martin Luther King, like Cesar Chavez. Like, they're all up there looking all pristine for the county, like, yeah, you did that, boss. You did.
Niki and Reggie and the Suicidal Ball. And I'm in for the ride. Like, I read a quote the other day, like, on our team, like, and it just resonated to me. Like, we want to create an organizational culture and environment here where no one knows who's the boss. Like, it's just flowing and sync, right? And so we're headed in that direction, and I believe we're building to just build for a healthy community. So, yes, the event at 12 o'clock, Ohio Street
Building Probation Department.
Was probation department on Ohio Street.
Yeah, there you go. And the thing is so I just, what I really want to acknowledge is because, I've been incarcerated my whole existence. I was born in 805 in the medical department, came out the hole, and I just went straight to prison. So the whole time that I was there, what I realized is when I came out, I didn't realize, like, there were certain things that were transitioning. One thing that stood out to me is when we went to go look at that, I didn't realize that they had never let youth and children inside of the probation building, and one thing I want to acknowledge is the part that has evolved to the point to where now mothers can bring their kids into this space. And the other thing is with this building, it's a little bit different. It's not a regular probation building. Like, there's going to be a lot of community resources there. We're going to set up shop there. We're going to be doing enrollments there. We're going to be recruiting people from there so that we can have people with the support that they need coming back into society. So it's a really good opportunity. So y'all should check it out, especially now we can have it's family, and I love that. So I just want to recognize that.
And out of experience, that's the building that I had to check in, like, when I came out. And so I know what the difference is of the past building and this building.
Yeah.
The last building, I could feel the system-induced trauma. Like, there was like 7 chairs, right? The metal detector, and everybody's moving, and everybody on the other side, the participants, we're all feeling that, like, panic, regardless if we were doing the right thing. Like, man, am I going to get locked up? There was no trauma-informed approach. It was just everybody's busy, and there was a system in place. So the difference is from that to what we have now.
Yeah. So it's awesome. So that's happening today from 12 to 2. So if y'all want to go by and get Arthur's autograph, by all means, please do. Take a picture with him. He'll be there live and in person. Rub on this goodness.
No.
I'm kidding. I love you, boss. Also, too, I want to just make an announcement. Our Cinco de Mayo event, it's happening this Thursday. So, Cinco de Mayo commemorates the anniversary of Mexico's victory over the French Empire at the Battle of Puebla in 1862. So this is a really, really big thing because, when we think about victory, we think about victory on so many different levels for our people, right? And I think that's the most important part. So I look at it like as if it's our people celebrating all the victories that we've accomplished in our households, our successes, our communities. It's the liberation of our people, our ancestors, and still those today that struggle with oppressive situations. So this is an amazing opportunity. You guys went through a whole hell of a lot to put this event on. It's going to be at Clark Middle School. So you want to tell them a little bit more about it?
Most definitely parents from Clark Middle School, the youth that we're working with, the parents from Rosa Parks Elementary, the parents. We're going to come. We've got a planning. There's going to be food. There's going to be mariachi. Gabby and her father going to sing a song. Like Nick is going to do a motivational speech.
I have resilience that night. I won't even be there. But everybody else will have the privilege of enjoying that whole giddy down that you just explained.
There's going to be mole,
What?
machos. It's going to be, because ultimately we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo, right? But what does that represent? That represents culture, revolutionary.
Yeah.
So what you just said right now, we need to represent the culture in our homes, in our community.
Yep.
And so that's what that's all about.
Yes. It's amazing because it's our community that's coming together, right? It's all about liberation. It's all about feeling like we're a part of something because that induces the self-efficacy that we need as a community that we belong, So
why? Because we got all these programs, and look, programs are temporary.
Yeah.
They come and they go, right? So some are for 6 months, some are for 3 months, right? Like it's all a system, a program to that. But in the end, the individual and families have their answer.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen that day.
Yes. We have a victory, y'all. We had the victory. We have to claim that and profess that and throw that out. That's why we're victorious voices, because we had the victory. Y'all had the victory. So, okay, I'll close out with our event. So June 4th is our heal event. While we're talking about healing all day, every day, we ask that you all just check us out. Our early bird tickets, they end Thursdays on Cinco de Mayo app on 5/5. So it's going to be from 6:30 to 11 o'clock p.m. We ask that you get your tickets now. It is going to be live. We're going to be breaking bread with each other. Like I always say, Jeff Henderson is going to be there. He's an amazing inspirational speaker. We love him here at Youth Empowerment. He's phenomenal. He's out there in Vegas doing this thing. And he's making it happen out there in Vegas for real. Like he's helping our youth. He's doing amazing things. So we ask that you all just, get your early bird tickets, get your tickets now. We have tables that have already been reserved. So we're dwindling down as far as availability goes. People are buying tables at this point. So, just want to throw that out there. And come with us. Come heal with us. We ask that you all just come heal with us and take a chance on blessing yourself with an amazing evening, with amazing people. And our youth are going to be there, and we're going to not do a lot of acknowledgments. So it's going to be an amazing time. So now with that, if y'all just could just follow us on Facebook, on Insta, on YouTube, on Spotify, like us, share us, deliver this message to other individuals that you believe that could connect with. Like, I think they say, like, if you drop a heart or drop somebody's name, like, do all of that social media type of stuff, however that comes. Y'all know how it's done. I'm in the process still, but what else do you have to say? You have something else to say?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. ... It gets better.
Yeah, stay tuned.
And so with that, I'm just going to send love to everyone that is trying their best to heal from the things that they don't discuss.
Much love.
Yes.
Peace, joy, forgiveness, healing. That's what we need as a community. So thank you very much.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful day. Do something good for yourselves.